Hey people, FenixFire here with another match. This time a mixed tier battle, UU and below against TheLastTaquito. Channel link down at the bottom. We were in the same boat back in the day before my hiatus, so we decided to have another bout for old time's sake. I settled on 2 UUs and 4 NUs while my opponent packs 2 of each tier. With that said, let's jump right in. I begin with Accelgor and Taquito starts off with Medicham. Even though his Pokémon might pack Fake Out and deal hefty harm, I stayed put to gauge the foe's set. If it launches Fake Out, I can safely scratch any choice item. Connecting with Ice Punch and spotting the Life Orb, my Pokémon is able to withstand the blow thanks to the extra HP investment and lay down a first layer of spikes. Knowing my adversary can switch up moves after determinating its item, Bullet Punch is definitely coming my way. As I recall Accelgor for Unpheasant, the unstabbed low-power blow is still able to inflict 91 points of damage, vouching for Medicham's incredible physical might. As my opponent recalls his combatant for Druddigon, I foresee deploying quickly U-turn to maintain momentum. As Unpheasant smashes into the foe, both Roughskin and Rocky Helmet cut my bird for 25% of its HP, clearly showing its defensive mean. Baiting my foe to use either its only priority move Sucker Punch or swap out, Alakazam is free to construct a substitute. Tying down the foe with Encore, I add another layer of pressure that I might continue to exploit the current situation. Fearing Druddigon is left unequipped to deal with Alakazam, Taquito reluctantly shifts out for Registeel, an action I can handily take advantage of by pressing the attack. Despite hitting Registeel for only little damage, Focus Blast as my last move will surely prove adequate for the combat at hand. As I give the order, Alakazam charges most potent blast but fails to hit, as Registeel dodges the attack and dashes forward with Iron Head, headbutting the doll to pieces with little effort. Anticipating my foe will use Thunder Wave to cripple my speedy telepathist, I hastily construct another decoy. Registeel, on the other hand, cares nothing for it and quickly smashes it for a second time. Unable to proceed with my strategy, I must risk the potential crippling status and charge forth. Strangely enough, Taquito opts to swap out for Archeops, which takes near-death injuries from Focus Blast. Although not scoring a KO, defeatist nullifies any attempt for it to make an impact. As the foe is not packing the controversial Choice Scarf, I grab the first kill of the match with Psychic. Wanting to keep the momentum going and running nothing to directly endure any of the foe's techniques, I stay put while Medicham mauls Alakazam with Fake Out, thus quickly evening out the score again. Eager to test out a new set, I command Choice Scarf Slacking to jump into the fray. Ready to unleash its rage now that I've lost a fighter, my foe falls back into Miltank. Despite its terrific bulk, Retaliate inflicts exceptional amounts of harm comparable to that of a super effective move. Astounded by this brute force, I definitely have a potent revenge killer on my hands. Unfit to move consecutively due to my ability Truant, I am forced to recall prematurely. Positive the foe will restore its HP, I can safely bring Accelgor to continue its mining duty. Even though it will probably last only a single turn on account of its poor stats, any entry hazards are permanent when the foe lacks a Rapid Spinner. Tools that can add a great deal of pressure when the foe switches. As I launch another volley of Caltrops and prepare for my Pokemon's demise, Miltank actually uses Seismic Toss. Holding on by the skin of its teeth, I direct Accelgor to use Recover. A strange move on a Pokemon with the defenses of a wet paper bag, yet vital in order to pull off its secret strategy in the form of Final Gambit. The more HP my Pokemon has after littering the field with spikes, the more points of damage I can inflict my enemy with. Seeing how Miltank is unable to break the status quo, Medicham is called onto the stage, while Accelgor completes the last level of spikes. With 3 layers established, the foe will take incredible injuries every time he swaps in a grounded Pokemon. Still wary of the recent Fake Out kill on Alakazam, I shift gear and take position with Slocking. Bulky enough to endure the smaller priority hits, Medicham can dish out and packing the pursuit to hit my opponent on the switch. My adversary's combatant has no hope for survival, as Slocking slashes the foe with pursuit, thus ending its life. The score stands at 5 versus 4. Aware of the terrible threat my Slocking poses, the enemy fields Roserade. As I'm left immobile by Truant, I must sacrifice one of my Pokemon to absorb the foe's Sleep Powder attack and avoid being put out of commission. Having little use for Dunsparce considering the foe's team, I let it take the fall as Roserade executes its move. Now keen on preserving Dunsparce to enforce the sleep clause, I recall again for Accelgor. With its duty complete, it has become the least instrumental to my team. As Roserade annihilates my Pokémon with Leaf Storm, the record drops to 4 versus 4. Unsure if Slaking's power might suffice when pursuing the enemy, or it's outsmarting me by waiting a turn until Truant kicks in, I launch Unpheasant from its Pokeball as U-turn will allow me to sting the foe and maintain momentum. Rebounding off Miltank with a planned strategy, Unpheasant continues to pick at the enemy while still providing me with favourable matchups. Knowing my foe's Pokémon has only learned Seismic Toss and a bunch of supporter moves, Golurk can take front stage and prepare for the endgame. As I raise the stakes on the duel at hand by doubling my speed, Druddigon is all that stands between Golurk and the foe's demise. Badly wounded and not boasting a life orb, his Sucker Punch effort will indubitably fall short. Overconfident in Golurk's ability to clear house, I foolishly attack with Shadow Punch instead of Earthquake. As the former is a contact move while the second is not, Druddigon's ability and item lacerate my Pokemon's fist for life-threatening damage. Even though Druddigon perishes in the process, the heroic act has staved off the foe's defeat for now. Earnest to correct this terrible blunder, I move out with Slaking to secure another kill. With Pokémon falling rapidly, the record stands at 3 versus 2. Jumping in and out to exploit whatever chances Roserade can find, I must preserve Slaking in order to defeat my opponent's Registeel. With Unpheasant still vital as well to counter this plant-like heroine, I am left with no other option but to let Dunsparce go. In spite of not being able to contribute much, its sacrifice will not be in vain. Although the foe is able to revitalize itself with Synthesis and seemingly gain an advantage, offensive Roserade's physical defenses are poor at best, thus allowing Unpheasant to be more than a match for the foe's combatant when the time is due. As Roserade easily eliminates my poor Dunsparce, the scoreboard is at 2 versus 2. Finally ready to retake the momentum lost with Golurk's defeat, Unpheasant shrieks as it is released upon its prey. As a quick smack from return renders the adversary unconscious, the battle has reached its final stage at 2 versus 1. Down to Registeel to make it happen, the spikes chave the Iron Behemoth for a second time. Locked into return due to Choice Band, all additional wounds will surely come in handy in subduing the giant. As I manage to scratch the surface, it seems to have a reasonable effect, leading me to believe the opponent's Pokémon is not physically defensive. In the meantime, Taquito uses Hone Claws, a strange move to use on Registeel, but hints that it might be using either Zap Cannon and or Dynamic Punch for a Paralysis Confusion combo. All in all, it underlines the foe's offensive demeanor even more. Unrelenting in my pursuit of victory, I continue to smash into the metallic foe. As I'm finally able to topple the Hulk with a third blow, the match ends in a 2 versus 0. That was the game for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Was terribly ill this past week, so the video got delayed by quite a bit. Ain't fully rested yet, but I'll manage. For the choice scarf slacking out there, many thanks to That's My Ladios for the idea on the set. And feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And season's greetings to one and all out there. FenixFire out.